Welcome to February 13th. Did you know today is a holiday as well? No, it's not Valentine's Day. If you're in the hospitality industry, you would know that florists, hotels, and restaurants are just as busy tonight as they will be tomorrow, because today is Mistress Day. Yes, mostly cheating men to celebrate tonight with their affair partner, and they can celebrate tomorrow with their official partner. This is a real thing. Now, why am I starting there? Selecting leaders for your organization is a lot like dating and relationships. You have to sift through lots of information to find great leaders. So what if there was an evaluation matrix to help you do that, to help you find great leaders? My inspiration for today's matrix comes first from Dana McClendon and the YouTube viral video of the Hot Crazy Matrix.
Above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is where your car gets keyed, you get a bunny in the pot, your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail.
And Kelsey Crane, the Hot Emotionally Unavailable Matrix, a woman's guide to men.
Hot, as usual, is measured from 0 to 10. We all know that. Emotional unavailability is measured from 4 to 10 because we know there's no such thing as a man who's not at least a stunted 4 in emotional growth.
So let's put this leadership selection dating relationship all together into the matrix for leadership selection. We're going to start with EQ, emotional intelligence, on the bottom, from 0, none, to 10, a lot. The y-axis, which we'll show here in a second, goes from 4, because no leader is truly selfless, right, to 10. So that's your ego, and you want to be at, I don't know, a 7 or an 8, enough ego to get stuff done, but not so much that you forget about other people. Now, we're going to start to segment out this matrix into various aspects. I'm going to use characters from The Office as examples to help us guide along the process. Let's divide this into two sections, low EQ and high EQ. The low EQ is the no-go zone. Don't hire here. Today's talent economy requires you to have some measure of emotional intelligence. There are two types of leaders in the no-go zone. For low EQ and low ego, these are your doormats. No offense to the room, but these are our Tobys from The Office. I don't think you want a Toby as a leader. Now, at the top of this section is the very high ego, hubris, right? And low EQ, we have our narcissists, AKA Michael Scott. I don't think you want them in your organization either, all right? Now, let's take this top little triangle here. This is your danger zone. These are high ego and moderate EQ. These are your sociopaths, right? This is your Dwight Schrutes. You don't want them in your organization either. Now, their EQ makes them a little harder to identify, but they are very toxic to your culture, so you need to be careful with these. This bottom section we're going to divide into two. Moderate EQ. This is your fun zone, right? These are your entertainers. This is Kelly. Great to work with, fun to hang out with, but doesn't really create a whole lot of impact for you. This last section will be 3 parts. The top one is the micro zone. These are your incessant micromanagers, right? They have to obsess over every single detail, and they will not stop. This is your control freak, your Angela, right? Now, this next one is the sweet spot. This is your leader zone. This is Jim Halpern. High EQ and enough ego to be ambitious, but not enough to forget that there are actual real people involved in the process here. We've got one more box to reveal. This last box is your unicorn zone, your fantasy leader, because they don't really exist. There isn't a great leader like that. So we're going to have to leave The Office for our character here. So our character here, if anyone wants to guess, Ted Lasso, right? Everybody would love a Ted Lasso, but they just don't really exist in real life. If you find one, do not tell anyone, because they will join and ruin it for you, right? And if you find them, stick with them, stay with them, move with them, go with them forever. All right, in all seriousness, let's make this practical. Let's take this EQ guide, EQ ego matrix for leadership selection. I'll give you 2 questions I like to ask to evaluate, one for ego and one for EQ. For ego, the question I like to ask is this: tell me about your trophy career accomplishment, and listen for what they say. Low ego will be they, fortune, luck. High ego will be myself, right? That's your flag for where they are in the ego spectrum. How about EQ? Describe a time you had to manage conflicting emotions with a difficult decision. Low EQ will be very factual, transactional. High EQ will talk about their own emotional state, self-regulation, and the impact on others. Listen for those responses. So in summary, 3 things. Number 1, ask great questions around ego and EQ. Number 2, practice deep listening. Look for the red flags. What are they talking about and not talking about? And number 3, do the hard work, and you can find your unicorns, your Ted Lassos, or your Jims. Thank you very much.